Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Ellen Evans, and I'm with the Intuit Financial Freedom Foundation, the chief sponsor of the Tax Time Allies campaign. Tax Time Allies is a growing movement of national, state, and local nonprofits, coalitions and associations, companies like Intuit, and individual volunteers from across the country who are united in one goal: to help taxpayers take advantage of the IRS free taxpayer assistance programs, VITA, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, Free File, and Tax Counseling for the Elderly, or TCE. Intuit is one of several companies, including TaxSlayer, who donate their tax software through the IRS and Georgia's Free File programs, and we're a proud cheerleader and funder for the mighty network of local VITA programs. We've planned this session today specifically for community organizations across Congressman Johnson's 4th Congressional District. We know how hard you work on behalf of your neighbors. And while taxes may not be anyone's favorite topic, at Intuit, we believe preparing a tax return is core to everyone's financial lives, and doing them for free and with confidence can be a life changer. You're the trusted messengers in your communities, and we're hoping we can motivate and equip you to use your communication channels to help amplify 3 key messages. Number 1, file your taxes. Number 2, use the new look back rule to get the biggest refund possible. And number 3, use the IRS and Georgia-sponsored free taxpayer assistance programs. Over the next half hour or so, you're going to hear more about these key messages and the resources that are available to help you help taxpayers. We'll put all the resources referenced in the chat and also follow up with you by email so you can relax and enjoy the webinar without taking copious notes. So let's review the agenda. Our first speaker this afternoon will be Congressman Hank Johnson, followed by Georgia Department of Revenue Chief Tax Officer Stacey Guest. Next, we'll hear from Kaisha Bolden from the IRS and 2 taxpayer assistance providers, Seth Babb with TaxSlayer and Economy Jackson with United Way of Greater Atlanta. They'll be sharing their perspectives on where things stand this tax season. We'll also issue our call to action and where we need your help to spread the word. We'll wrap up with a few words from the most important people who have benefited from IRS programs, the taxpayers themselves. And then a Q&A session with all of you. So please submit your questions in the Q&A throughout the webinar, and we'll do our best to respond to them today or in a follow-up email. So without further ado, we're fortunate to have with us today one of our biggest advocates in this work, Congressman Hank Johnson, who has hosted multiple taxpayer awareness events around this district over the years. First elected to Congress in 2006, he serves on the Judiciary and Transportation and Infrastructure Committees, and is chairman of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Courts, Intellectual Property, and the Internet. Thanks so much for being with us today, Congressman. I'll turn it over to you, so please turn on your camera.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here today to help empower Georgia taxpayers to prepare their taxes on their own. Every year for many years, myself and my staff have enjoyed teaming up with you all to host these free events for folks to come out and get their taxes done and gain a better understanding of financial freedom. But because of the pandemic, we could not meet in person at Stonecrest Library, the Clarkston Community Center, or other locations throughout the district. So we are here together virtually because it is so important that people are aware of all of the free tax services that are available to them. And I look forward to helping you get the word out that the IRS-sponsored programs like Free File, VITA, and the United Way of Greater Atlanta are making sure that those who need it most pay not 1 penny more than they are obligated to pay. And they get every dollar owed to them. I have personally seen the vital contributions that the Free File program and VITA have made to our communities. Over 60 million taxpayers have used Free File since it was created in 2003. Free File has saved taxpayers over $1.8 billion in tax preparation fees so far. And with the tax deadline extended to May 17th, I'm calling on everyone listening in online or by phone to help us get the word out about the free IRS taxpayer assistance programs available online in our community. Again, that is free IRS taxpayer assistance programs available online and in our community. We want to make sure that low and moderate income taxpayers are aware of their choices for free tax preparation, and can make the decision that is best for themselves and their families. So thank you all to the community organizations on the call today, working to make sure that Georgia taxpayers who need a refund the most can get the help that they need, file for free, and even get connected to other resources for themselves and their families. And with that, I would like to kick it back to you, Ellen.
It's my pleasure to introduce our Georgia Department of Revenue Chief Tax Officer, Stacey Guest.
Thank you. I'm here today because, like all of you, I want to make sure that hardworking taxpayers know about and have access to the help they need to complete their tax return and to get the refund they're owed, which is an important step in starting to pay off debt and to save money. Even a little bit can go a long way. Thanks to the Georgia Department of Revenue sponsored tax preparation programs, Georgians have free resources to help securely and accurately file their tax returns while capturing all the credits and the deductions that they deserve, putting much needed money back into their pockets and back into our economy. I encourage you to visit the Department of Revenue website, dor.georgia.gov, and search for Free File Alliance to see all of the different software options available to you. Determine which is you're eligible for, and then which one works best given your family and financial circumstances. I'd like to say thank you all for joining us today. Let's work together to ensure taxpayers are aware of their choices for free tax preparation and can make the decision that is best for themselves and their families. This is not just good for them, but it's good for our state. Thank you.
Joining us this afternoon are Kaisha Bolden, Senior Stakeholder Relationship Tax Consultant with the Internal Revenue Service. Economy Jackson, Director of Asset Building and Income at United Way of Greater Atlanta. And Seth Babb, Director of Consumer Products with TaxSlayer. So we're going to begin with Kaisha. Kaisha, we know you have so much on your plate at the IRS right now, so thank you for spending the time with us today. Can you start with telling us just a little bit about the 3 IRS-sponsored tax programs and how to access them?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Congressman Johnson and Stacey Guest, and to Tax Time Allies and Ellen Evans for arranging this wonderful event. My name is Kaisha Bolden, and I'm here today to represent the IRS. We want to thank everyone for their support of Free File and to affirm our commitment to this public-private partnership. So let's get into it. VITA. Our partners in the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program prepare millions of tax returns each year. The VITA program has operated for over 50 years, offering free tax help to people who generally make $57,000 or less, persons with disabilities, and limited English-speaking taxpayers who need assistance in preparing their own tax returns. In addition to VITA, the Tax Credit for the Elderly, or TCE program, offers free tax help, particularly for those who are 60 years of age and older, specializing in questions about pensions and retirement-related issues that are unique to seniors. VITA and TCE locations can be found by using the VITA TCE locator tool and AARP tax aid site locator tool on irs.gov, or just search keyword VITA, V-I-T-A. Now, I also want to talk briefly about how Free File works. Free File is just one way the IRS serves the nation's taxpayers by working with third parties to help file free tax returns. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to irs.gov/free file. Okay, simply click on File Your Taxes for Free on the icon on the landing page on irs.gov if you'd like to as well. The second thing you can do is you can either browse each of the 9 offers, or even easier, use the lookup tool to help you. And that will help you find the right product, the right partner, so that you can file your tax return. So each file partner or free file partner sets its own eligibility standards that are generally based on income, age, and state residency. So the third thing you're going to want to do is select a provider and follow the links to their webpage to begin your tax return. And the last thing, number 4, you want to complete and e-file a tax return only if you have all of the income and deduction records you need. The fastest way to get your refund is still by filing an electronic return and selecting direct deposit. So if you owe, you might want to use IRS Direct Pay, which is free, or electronic payment options, which may charge a fee. So since Free File's debut in 2003, more than 60 million taxpayers have saved $1.8 billion in tax preparation fees, and that's just based on a conservative $30 charge. You know what? You can even use Free File to do your taxes on your smartphone or other device by downloading the IRS To Go app. IRS To Go is the official mobile app of the IRS. I mean, you can check your refund status, make a payment. You can find free tax preparation assistance, VITA. You can sign up for helpful tax tips and more. IRS To Go is available in English and Spanish. And don't forget to subscribe to Tax Tip to receive your information during the filing season and through the year. You just want to enter your email address and click subscribe. I mean, it's really that easy.
That's all great information, Kaisha. We know that these days so much relies on the tax return, the stimulus payments, the look back rule, and now the tax waiver on the $10,000 unemployment payments. What's the best way to make sure taxpayers can take advantage of these benefits?
Well, for tax year 2020, unemployment payments and other unearned income received could affect the amount of earned income a worker can claim. So the IRS will provide taxpayers with an additional guidance on those provisions that could affect their 2020 tax return, including the retroactive provision that makes the first $10,200 of 2020 unemployment benefits non-taxable. Let me repeat that, okay? Because a lot of the tax softwares have been updating their systems to reflect this retroactive provision. So in the 2020 tax return, including the retroactive provision that makes the first $10,200 of your 2020 unemployment benefits non-taxable. So take advantage of that. Make sure you let someone know that you have unemployment so that you can get that provision. Okay, so for those who haven't filed yet, the IRS will provide a worksheet for paper filers and work with software industry to update the current tax software. So this way, taxpayers can determine how to report their unemployment income and make sure that it's reported accurately on their tax return. So for those who've received unemployment benefits last year and they've already filed their 2020 tax return, the IRS is emphasizing that they should not file an amended return at this time. Until the IRS issues additional guidance, please do not go ahead and file that amended return. We are going to be sending guidance soon. So please, just stay patient and we will get that information out to you. Now, I also want to talk about the look back rule. So under the Taxpayer Certainty and Disaster Tax Relief Act of 2020, taxpayers can use their 2019 earned income to figure their 2020 earned income for the earned income tax credit. That's if their 2019 earned income was more than their 2020 earned income. To qualify for the earned income tax credit, people must have earned income. So this option may help workers who earned less in 2020 or received unemployment income instead of their regular wages get bigger tax credits and larger refunds this year. And the same is true for the additional child tax credit. Remember, to get the earned income tax credit, workers must file a federal income tax return, even if you're not otherwise required to file. So I'll repeat that. You must file a federal income tax return in order to get the earned income credit. Okay, even if you're not required to file, and you have to specifically claim that credit. So make sure that if your tax preparer does not mention it, that you mention it so you get that credit. Okay. Now, we did have a newly enacted American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, and the Internal Revenue Service announced Friday, March 12th, 2021, that the third round of economic impact payments are going to be reaching Americans over the next few weeks. So hopefully this month that everyone's been receiving their economic impact payments, and that you're staying tuned to irs.gov for more updates on that, because the IRS is hard at work on implementing the changes. So we will update irs.gov as soon as possible. And I know everyone is excited about the fact that the filing season deadline has been extended to May 17th. So just make sure that you don't miss that deadline, because we're giving you another month to file. And speaking about that, finally, it's very important to file your tax return, whether you owe money or you're owed a refund. That's because income taxes are pay as you go. So this means that you need to pay most of your tax during the year as you receive the income, rather than paying it all at the end of the year. Based on the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, taxpayers have the right to pay only the amount of tax legally due, and that includes interest and penalties, and to have IRS apply all tax payments properly. So filing a tax return and reporting your income accurately, it ensures that you exercise your right to pay no more than the correct amount of tax. No more, no less. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaisha. And I share your excitement with the extension of tax season. So I'm so glad you referenced that. And now we're going to bring up Economy. Economy, would you share with us why tax preparation assistance services are so important to United Way of Greater Atlanta in serving your community?
Yes, and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for us being a part of this great presentation, and thank you to the Congressman. So at United Way, our president, Milton Little, he has a phrase where he'll talk, and we have this thing where we say, how are the children? And so what that means to us is that, there's an old African saying where two warriors would come together, and instead of saying, how are the crops or different other things, they would say, how are the children? And if the children in the village were doing well, that meant the village was doing well. So for us at United Way, when we say, how are the children, we are looking at the entire community and how well the community is doing. And so economic stability is key for us. We know that there are some families that have to choose between eating or heat. There are some families that have no insurance and they don't have sick leave. We know that 33% of families have limited choices around childcare, as well as not being able to have the funds for a surprise, unexpected bill that comes up. So being a part of the IRS program through VITA, we know that this is the one time in the year that families get an opportunity to really make a serious dent in their life, in their lifestyles, in their homes, in their families. And so it's an opportunity for them to start to save, to pay down on a debt, to get ahead on bills. And so at United Way, we know that we can do more together for our community.
We really appreciate everything United Way is doing in Atlanta Economy. A question for you: how can people in the Atlanta area get appointments for taxpayer assistance, and what should they do if they can't get an appointment?
Thank you. And so with COVID, we know that there are not necessarily a lot of options, but our main thing is wanting people to be safe, wanting to make sure that people feel comfortable. And so we ask people to visit our website. United Way's website is unitedwayatlanta.org, on our website, we have a listing of over 13 different sites that has their phone numbers and their email addresses. And so we ask people not just to go directly to those sites because they want to make sure that they have the proper spacing, the number of people, and all those particular things for them to be able to set that appointment and visit that site. But you don't you don't have to go to all sites. There are several virtual opportunities where your taxes can be done online with a IRS certified volunteer that is a tax preparer. And we make sure we're following all of the protocols to make sure people feel safe. One of the great things is we've asked people this year to send us, your success stories. And we have received so many different stories from seniors, from young people throughout the community that said that they felt secure, they felt safe, and they were really glad that they were able to get their taxes done and they didn't have to interact with anybody, and they knew it was safe. And so our website is where we ask people to go. And then also in the Atlanta area, we have 2 sites where you don't have to have an appointment. And so that's the Greenbrier Mall and the mall at West End. So those 2 sites, they are open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they are drop-off sites. Again, we're trying to make sure everybody is safe. So an individual just goes to that site. They we're able to scan those documents right into the software. Our tax preparers will prepare those returns, and then we invite that person to come back to get their quality review and then to receive their return. And so again, it's very limited contact, and we make sure that everybody is safe and secure. And so this is something that we feel great to be able to partner with the IRS to provide this service for the people in the community.
We so appreciate the variety of approaches you're taking to serve your taxpayers in Atlanta economy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, last but not least, we have Seth from TaxSlayer. Seth, can you tell us a little bit about TaxSlayer and why your work is so important to Georgians?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And economy, I appreciate your comments there. Very insightful and impactful, and really helps provide context around why we do this and why we have these programs. TaxSlayer is proud to be an Augusta-based company, serving Georgia taxpayers and others for over 50 years. And we're plugged into both of these programs, and we've seen many changes in the tax ecosystem over the last many years. And we work hard to make sure that taxpayers can take advantage of their tax time moment. This is what makes the programs like Free File Alliance and VITA TCE so important. And actually proud to be a part of Free File and proud to provide software to thousands of VITA sites across Georgia and the rest of the U.S. And I think Kaisha mentioned it, and Ellen, I think you've mentioned it as well. We're in unprecedented times right now. We know that Georgians and Americans at large need help filing their tax return, not only just to do their duty as Americans to pay their fair share of taxes and to get any refunds that may be coming back to them, but now to make sure they're on the list to receive the economic impact payments, which people need so desperately right now. And, we've had a lot of opportunities to help many folks over the years. And, the events that have played out over the last year or so, and being in the tax industry, all the craziness that has happened with extensions and mid-season changes and new legislation, when you step back and look at how we're able to help American taxpayers, and for us, near and dear to our heart, Georgians specifically, because we are a born and bred Georgia company, it's been a tough year, but it's been probably one of the most rewarding.
Absolutely, Seth. And can you tell us a little bit about why being part of Free File is important to TaxSlayer? And you touched on it, but how is TaxSlayer planning to manage the changes from this new relief bill?
Well, the changes, we're figuring that out each day as we get, as everyone else is. But TaxSlayer is a founding member of one of the founding members of Free File Alliance. We've continuous participation since 2003. Our offer, which we call the TaxSlayer American Pledge, is wide-ranging and in line with the IRS eligibility. And we strive to provide the same benefits, the same technologies to our free filers as we do in our other products. The free file program itself, as mentioned earlier, has been a wonderfully successful public-private partnership between the IRS and the cohort of companies who outside of free file are competitors. But in this instance, we work together very closely and very intentionally with the IRS to provide this service to the American people. Regarding the changes, yes, there has been a lot. Kaisha, I'm hoping there's not many more, no more surprises. I say that kiddingly, of course, but it has been an interesting year, and we're working hard to make sure that all the newest changes that are passed in the most recent in the American Rescue Plan are implemented as quickly as possible. We know that tax time can cause stress and anxiety in a normal year. Any of these new changes can cause confusion and questions for everyone. And kudos to all the folks involved in these programs for not only providing the services, but providing content, guidance, and information to taxpayers to know where to go and what to do. We want our folks to be confident and comfortable that our software, as well as all the other companies, is up to date, including the really impactful most recent changes to the unemployment that was mentioned by Kaisha. So that's extremely encouraging, and it will provide a huge benefit to folks. And just to close, Ellen, the slide that you opened with really nails it, I think, empowering people at tax time. And just to help further that initiative, I'd encourage folks, remind you of two things: know your options. That's why events like these are so important, to get the word out and educate folks, and have confidence that TaxSlayer, the other free file companies, the state of Georgia, the IRS are working tirelessly on your behalf to help you prepare the most accurate tax return and take control of your tax time moment, and helping you navigate the forms, tax law changes to get all the deductions, credits, refunds, EIP payments that you deserve.
Thank you, Seth, and thanks to all of our panelists. This is critical information to get into the hands of Georgia taxpayers. So let's review the key messages we need you to share. First, file your taxes. Unfortunately, many people who don't owe or aren't owed money typically don't file taxes. However, this past year, we saw Congress and the administration use tax returns to quickly distribute stimulus benefits, and they will continue to do so with the next round of economic impact payments. It could also be an opportunity to find a tax credit or refund that you didn't know you were eligible for. It's critical to make sure everyone starts with this first step. Second, the new IRS look-back rule. As Kaisha mentioned, the look-back rule means many families can use either their 2019 or 2020 income to calculate their earned income tax credit and or the additional child tax credit, whichever gets them the biggest refund. You can find more information on the look-back rule at taxtimecrisis.org. And finally, all eligible taxpayers need to know about and know how to find free IRS and Georgia-sponsored taxpayer assistance programs. Even though the tax deadline has been extended to May 17th, VITAs are committed to keeping people safe by providing limited in-person services, as Economy mentioned. So we want to urge those who need the most hands-on help to make appointments now, because they're booking up. For everyone else, we want to encourage them to file online, either on their own or with virtual help, and for free. As promised, we have a bunch of resources, and that's a technical term, that we're going to share with you in a follow-up email tomorrow, including the IRS To Go app to find local free tax preparation assistance and lots of other information on taxes, the Georgia Department of Revenue website, where you can search Free File Alliance for the list of software providers partnering with the IRS and Georgia Department of Revenue to offer free federal and state online tax preparation to qualifying taxpayers. the Tax Time Allies website for FAQs and how-to videos for filing on your own and for free. As Kayusha mentioned earlier, please let your networks know about these great tools that the IRS has to help you find out when a stimulus or refund will be arriving. That's what everyone wants to know. And finally, United Way of Greater Atlanta also has some flyers that you can download and distribute, like the one you're looking at right now. We'll include those in the email tomorrow. Now that you've heard from the experts, and before we go to Q&A, let's give the last word to the taxpayers, the most important people in this conversation. Here's a compilation of taxpayers who have used all these resources and the positive experiences that they have had.
Man, taxes is a headache.
Filing taxes, or the process of filing taxes, is sort of like a boogeyman.
I went to someone in the neighborhood to do my taxes and received a lot of fees that I really didn't understand.
Filing my taxes was definitely pretty scary.
I was hesitant in the beginning filing my taxes because I was afraid that I wasn't going to get as much money back if I hired a professional to file for me. But I did it for free and I was satisfied.
And it wasn't as stressful, as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, this isn't bad at all. I should have been doing this if I'd known it was this easy. It's like I was taking power and they didn't have the power. Now I'm doing it.
I'm doing it myself, and I've learned more about taxes through the questions that are prompted. Definitely empowered because I did my taxes myself.
I was going to do my taxes, learn how to do it so I don't need to depend on my parents or anyone else. It makes you more confident because you're understanding what's going on.
First of all, it's free, so it's the best part. And second of all, it's so easy.
When I got to the end, it said charge, 0, and click submit. Whew, that was it, 0 charge.
There is no reason to pay for a professional, tax preparer. We can do the same service, without paying. A lot of accountants are going to hate me for that.
Like, you get the same money. That's the best part.
As you heard Linda say, they had the power. Now I have the power. This is what Tax Time Allies is all about. Taxpayer assistance programs giving people the tools to prepare and file their tax returns for free and with confidence. Whether they prepare their return on their own with one of the online products available through Free File, or they rely on an IRS certified volunteer at a VITA TCE or AARP site, they are in charge of their financial lives. They have the power.
What is the site for virtual help with filing? And do I need to make an appointment for those services that you mentioned?
Thank you for that question. And so first, the best place to go is our website, which is unitedwayatlanta.org. And once they go to our website, they'll see 3 different options which was on the flyer. You can contact one of the local sites. It'll say whether or not you need an appointment on our website. One of the other ones that United Way uses, it's My Free Taxes. And you can just go to myfreetaxes.com, and that's another way that you can do taxes on your own virtually. And then the third option that's listed on our website is getyourrefund.org. And so individuals can log on to getyourrefund.org, and your taxes can be prepared professionally for free there as well.
Thank you. Are taxpayers really going to be able to do their taxes online by themselves?
I would say yes. Because when you go on IRS.gov for Free File, it takes you step by step. So choose one of the companies and it will ask you questions based on the information that you provide. It's going to give you the best result in terms of refund, in terms of accurately filing your tax return. And so you can do this by yourself. You can also ask questions. They do have a lot of help desk support systems on those sites, on the different products that you might use to help you. So don't be afraid, just reach out if you need assistance. But for the most part, you can actually file your tax return on your own.
Yes, I would second that.
Well, this question might be more for you, Seth. How do I decide, or how do I help taxpayers decide which free file product to use?
Well, I think the most important thing is going to the IRS website, number one. So go to the IRS website, take a view, and look to see what all the options are. As Kaisha mentioned earlier, and I kind of touched on briefly, there's different offers that are available, and some of them are based on geography, where you're located, what state you're filing in, what your AGI may be, or your age. And most important thing is go there, look at your options and see which one fits you the best. And to kind of touch on just tie it into the previous question, the most important piece to know here is that you can file your return confidently. You can feel comfortable with doing it. And if you have a question, there's support teams that are available for you in all of the products, and different support channels are available for you to get answers to your questions and help with kind of navigating the sites and those type of things.
Great, thank you. And we have one more question, and then we were just hoping to let the congressman give us any final thoughts as well. The last question is, if I owed taxes in 2019, will I still receive a stimulus payment?
That is a really good question that I can answer. So as of March 18th, 2021, the 2020 recovery rebate credit amount will no longer be applied to past federal income tax debts. Because generally, if you do owe money, any refund or credit that you receive would automatically apply, but they saved us this year. So don't worry about that in terms of your federal taxes that you might owe.
Congressman, would you have any final comments that you'd like to share?
Yes, I would just like to say to your listeners that please take advantage of these free services that are available to you. Please take care of your business. You never know when taking care of your business will come back to your benefit. But I can tell you, if you don't take care of your business, it will at some point come back to haunt you. So take care of everything on the front end. Do it within the time that is allowed for it. Don't be late so that you don't suffer any penalties. And please, everyone, get your vaccination as soon as you can. As soon as it becomes available to you, do your best to get it. The more people who get it, the less people will get sick. And eventually, if everyone gets the vaccine, which actually now inoculates you from getting the virus, if you get vaccinated, you won't get sick and you won't spread it to anybody else. If you don't get vaccinated, then we keep this vicious cycle going. So do your part, take care of yourself, make sure your family members do the same. We will get through the pandemic. Next year, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, we can handle our business in person once again. So thank you, everyone, for being safe, being diligent, and take care of yourselves out there. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you all on the call for all that you do to help the people. IRS is not a bad organization. It's a good organization because it helps us all.
Thank you.
So thank you all so much, and all of the tax preparation advocates out there. Thank you all for the service that you bring to the community. And don't pay more money than you should, either to get your taxes done. You shouldn't have to pay any money to get that done, or in what you owe, and get as much as you deserve in your refund. So once again, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.